Okay, we're looking at how to handle guests. So people are allowed to bring guests to events. In fact, sponsors may be sponsoring bunches of them. So how do we know we have them and what do we do about them? A couple of things will be clues for us that someone is a guest. One of which is that the participant type that they have will be guest. So if someone registers me as a guest, that's what the participant type will be. The other way that we will know that is that we can see who's the person who invited them, or who's the person. So looking at my list here, I see I got a bunch of people who apparently not sponsored or added as guests. That was just because of how I added information recently. But here, if we look for Ward, look at that, and I come down, I see, we've got this Mocha Ward person who is status of guest and has been invited by Thaddeus, this Thad Ward person. Okay, so that's what kind of tells us about the relationships that are there. Now the question, of course, is what if there's a mistake, or what do we do about it, or how do we add people as guests? The answer is pretty simple. You go into the record itself, and there's two different ways that someone could be associated with as being a guest. First of all, I would want to change their participant type to a guest, and I would either look up who they're sponsored by. This would be a contact in our database, or I could just say, hey, I know that they're being invited by Sally Salamander, who's just another person who's going, not necessarily a contact who's in our database, right? And I can see right there in that case that that this person is now part of is now set up, right? So if I go back, and so who is this? Jacob Ward. And I look at my attendees, full screen. Filter for Jacob. I can now see that he is a guest who's being sponsored by Sally Salamander. So I can group people according to those things and take a look at that. Now also there's the case we have, because people can say that they're inviting guests but not specify who they are. So how do we handle it if they then send us a list, or what do we do with that? Well, one way to do that is that we would just add more campaign members, is the lingo there. Just add new people to the group. So you could do that via adding a list via the data loader if you need some help with that, or if you wanted to go in to add attendees, you could input each person there and then go update their status as a guest in their record. Most cases, if you've got a long list of people, you will want to use some kind of data loader option. And the other thing is what about people who say that they are bringing guests? So if I look at this hypothetical record here, I can see the number of guests that someone is planning on bringing or not, because it will specify right there the number of guests associated with that person's record. So if someone says, oh, here's my names for the 3 guests I'm trying to bring, or they come to register and they say, I've got 4 guests with me, you can click on their record and see if that is actually the case, and contact them and problem solve if necessary.